The first thing you need to do when you're working in Photoshop will be either open a file or create a new project. You'll create a new project if you have set dimensions. For instance, you've been told a poster that you have to make has to be a certain size, or a page that you're making has to be a certain size. You go to File and New, and the dialog box comes up where you can stipulate those sizes. First of all, name your document. Second, you can check through these presets to see if you haven't already got a certain paper size in there. So for instance, if we were working with paper, we'd be doing international paper, and you can see here there are a bunch of different sizes: A3, A4, A5, A6, etc, etc. However, you can use a custom one as well, and here you get to stipulate the width, the height and the resolution. You can stipulate it in millimeters, centimeters, points, columns. It's completely up to you, whatever you've been told to work in. The resolution is very important. It should be 300 minimum. The larger the resolution, the more detail you can see. So it's always worth getting that right. In terms of the color mode, it's set at RGB color, but if you're working in print, you might want to work with CMYK color. It's up to you. The background contents. This is what will be in the back of your image. Now, most of the time people have white, but you might want to have a transparent background so that you can see through any images, or so that any images that you put on there will be on top of nothing else, and they'll just kind of appear to float there. Now that might be useful, for instance, if you were doing a video and you wanted to put an extra layer in the video. Whatever it is, you make your choice here, and you then press OK. And up comes your document window. Your alternative, if we close that, is to simply open a photograph or an item. So File, Open. The shortcut for this on a PC is Control-O. On a Mac it's Command-O. And you get this dialog box, and what we do then is we just take whatever picture we want and we open it. And there we go. And then we can start working on that straight away. Now, when you are, the final thing that you'll have to do is to save a file, and that is very easy. You just simply press File and Save. This one's already been done, or Control-S is your shortcut. However, anytime you work on a photograph, my advice is that you save as and label the document by a different number each time. So you give it a number, and then on your first edit you'll call it Picture 1. Next time you edit it, Picture 2, Picture 3. That way you are saving changes, and anything you don't like you can just go back to an earlier version. Similarly, there are three different, well, there are lots of different file types that we could use here. JPEG is the most common picture file. However, if you are going to still be working on this image later on, the best one that you can use is a Photoshop document, .psd. And you'll see that the file extension name should change to .psd as well, and that means you can continue working with this in Photoshop for as long as you like before you export it. However, if you are exporting it properly to use elsewhere, then a JPEG is the best thing to save it as. A little note on saving files from the web. If you want to save something from a website, a picture that you've seen, then you right click it and press Save Target As. You usually get three formats which you can save it in, and they can be a little bit confusing. These are GIFs, JPEGs and PNGs. Just to give you a little difference between the three of them. A GIF has a maximum of 256 colours. Usually you use them when you are saving images which have large areas of the same colour, for example a logo for someone's business. A PNG is very, very similar to a GIF, works best with logo images, but the difference is that the PNG can support more transparency in color areas and give you a better image once the image has been decreased in size. So therefore you might want to use that if you are altering the size of your images in the end. JPEG is probably the most commonly used format of the three because it allows you to use more than 256 colors, it allows you to use gradients, and it's much better for photographs and things like that. You can then save it into that. It's a compressed format, but the loss of quality is not as great as the PNG or the GIF. And that's your basics for opening files and saving them.